art in general is created by personalities, you see? They develop art, personalities. We actually live in a modern crazy world. Our century is so advanced and ballet, oddly enough, has also been moving forward.
About 30 of us came to start the Young's Capital Theatre, and about 7 most persistent and devoted ones remained. My morning starts at 7 a.m. I wake up, have my breakfast, and go to the choreography academy. At 8:30, I give a lesson already. I teach first-year boys. It's a very big responsibility. Right after that, I go to the theater, where I have ongoing group and solo rehearsals.
Два, пассе, плие, пике, фаи, шакрам варсе, pas de bourré. Attitude, 2 ручки, allongé, pas de bourré. Plié. И tombe, pas de bourré.
The hall where we are now is mainly for solo rehearsals. The hall has a very special, very even ballet floor. This is a professional harlequin ballet floor. It flexes, allowing the dancer to jump higher. There are 12 vinyl mats here. The flooring here is identical to that one on the stage.
Ballet always requires hard work. It's for honest hard workers. Stage life is short and will always be that way. The maximum must be achieved within 20 years.
И голова, динамика. 1, 2, 3, 4. Не опаздывай, Руслан. Сел.
You dance all day, and in the evening you just drop with fatigue. And the next day you do it again, and all over every day. In order to dance on stage for only 3 minutes, we spend many hours in the hall, rehearsing every turn of the head, hand, arm, chemistry with the partner, so that everything blends together. In general, it takes a lot of work. Some of the movements and our specific actions on pointe shoes are much easier than those for men. They also have a lot of work to do, believe me.
For girls, for example, there are their own complex elements, like pointe shoes. The toes technique where they should hold the position. We also raise them up when they are performing it. We have some technical elements like jumps, very complex stunts.
The requirements to physical abilities and looks have increased. For example, there was no such thing before as how high can you raise your leg. A ballerina or a male dancer must have charisma. He must be a good partner. The number of pirouettes was not so important. But with time, there are always people who give impetus and set a certain standard. It's like in sports, you know? Skaters used to perform a double twist and a jump. This was considered a high level. Now they already do a quadruple twist. Everything is moving forward.
Our male leading soloists are distinguished for their very good jumping technique. They reach the height where a complex element can easily be performed.
ту высоту, где можно с легкостью выполнить сложный элемент.
Artists should not turn into stunt machines. After all, ballet is an art. In the theater, ballet performances are not only certain combinations of movements that must be performed brilliantly, but it is also an artistic and dramatic task for the artists, which they must convey to the audience. That is, they must fill them with emotions. The audience should leave with some kind of emotion. They should either sympathize and worry, or, on the contrary, rejoice and laugh. It means we have to play as artists, as dramatic artists, only in a choreographic way. There are naturally gifted dancers that move well thanks to their physical abilities, but classical ballet is the highest form of ballet. It is complicated. For example, women's pointe technique or men's complex jumps in certain form. And for this you need to train.
Faculty and representatives of the Almaty Choreography School came to my primary school. They were looking for boys, as there is always a shortage of them in ballet. Mostly girls want to become ballerinas, hence there is always a lack of boys. So they came to select them. 3 boys were selected from the entire school. We came to the audition, where out of the 3, they picked only me.
In general, ballet is such a form of art based on selection. They look for certain qualities that will later be revealed. I mean, a child is still small, they cannot show everything and do everything that is needed. Therefore, we study at ballet school for 8 years. They are brought up starting from a young age. A child attending a professional school is different from other children. Why? Because they are, first of all, disciplined. We have a tradition of greeting in a certain way. It is necessary to say hello every time one sees an instructor, regardless of how many times they meet on a day. There is always a greeting. These are seeds of culture in engrafting the discipline. Ballet requires constant self-improvement. This is daily work. We get here at 9 a.m. and leave at 10 p.m. And the same, day after day. It's very difficult. It looks a bit like an army training, but it's not an army. You have to express yourself decently. You have to behave decently in the corridors. That is, this is such a good foundation for future life. Even if you never become a ballet dancer, that special something, politeness and neatness, will always remain. It is impossible to bring up or teach to be talented. Talent is given naturally, you know? There is a chancellery up above that gives it to someone and does not give it to others, but may allocate other qualities. For example, there are people who may not be hyper-talented, but they are super hard-working, very responsible, willing, and they make amazing workers.
Первое. Второй с плие. Вперед. Выворотно сократить, в бедрах подтянуться. Раз. Два. Легко сесть. Открыть. Сократить. Деми-деми. Гран-плие. Первое. Деми-деми. Гран-плие.
I did not finish my 3rd year. I left during my 2nd year. There was a new theater opening in the capital, and, of course, to create a ballet company, they needed male dancers, whom there was a lack of. They offer the second-year students to finish the third year as external students, going to the young capital to open the new theater named after Kulesh Baysitova. Just today, my classmate and I recalled how we worked at the theater, how small the stage was, that the auditorium was designed for 360 seats, how we all lived through all that. We reminisce these wonderful moments of our dance careers with a smile. About 30 of us came to start the Young Capitals Theater, and about 7 most persistent and devoted ones remained. Many left this profession. Some gave up. Others moved back to Almaty and worked in the theater there. Everyone's destiny is different. It turns out that I am the pioneer of 2 theaters, the Kulesh Baysitova Opera and Ballet Theater and the Astana Opera Theater. I opened the Astana Opera with the Sleeping Beauty Ballet on the 6th of July. The president himself and Yuri Grigorovich came to the opening night. This, of course, is a memorable event. The set of the Sleeping Beauty Ballet is beyond amazement. Imagine a single pillar weighing 4 tons, brought by the stage designer Ezio Frigerio from as far as Italy. His Oscar-winning wife, Franca Squarciapino, made costumes for this performance as well as for all subsequent ones.
I am grateful to my destiny and the Almighty for having such an opportunity to work in the place where I get real pleasure, and when on stage, I not only give myself to the audience, I give my true and sincere emotions. In fact, I love what I do. I am grateful to the Almighty for this opportunity, for such happiness that we have this fine and wonderful theater. A lot of young people work here, all compatriots. We practically don't have any invitees. Isn't it nice? I think it is wonderful.
Now I will take you to our magnificent stage. Here is the picture of Gauhar Usina and myself performing the Carmen. This is one of our most favorite pas de deux. Very emotional, staged very elegantly and impressively. There is a moment where, after I've danced a variation, I'm waiting for my Carmen, who appears on the stage with a cigarette. She comes and hands it to me, and I have to smoke it for 3 minutes sitting on the stage. I have to show that after the variation, I'm not tired and full of energy. I must watch her and smoke, lingering for these 3 minutes while she dances her variation. And then I have to put the cigarette out and run on to dance for another 10 minutes, and all this happens on the stage. Despite the fact that I do not smoke at all, I have to convey the smoking act artistically. I take a pull at the cigarette and exhale, and everything is to look natural. Many smoker dancers envied me, saying I was lucky to smoke on stage. Let's go further. We're approaching the most interesting place, the backstage. These are called wings. Here, the sets are prepared for the upcoming performances. This is the backstage. Look what spectacular set pieces there are. As you can see, the sets for the Fountain of Bakhchisarai Ballet has already been prepared for today's dance celebration. When you join the theater, you're on your way to becoming a performing artist. You have to show what you're worth still being very young, very unexperienced and callow. You have just graduated, you are very adolescent. Of course, with age, over the years, you are gaining experience and reveal your talent.
I've known Rustem for a very long time, since childhood, from the choreography school. He studied 2 grades younger than me, and already at that time he was promising, very capable and bright character ballet dancer. He showed his best and became not only a character dancer, but also a leading solo dancer. There are talented people, there are gifted people, there are hyper talents, there are bright personalities. All of them together make a bouquet. These are the main constituents of art. Everything rests on them. You know, I really respect Rustem. First of all, he is a very disciplined and responsible person. It is not so often that you can meet responsible people. You understand the meaning of responsibility? When you ask something from a person and you rest assured that they will make it happen.
Шаг, шаг и начинать ползти. Ползти только надо раньше. Покажи мне, как это. Начинай ползти уже. Еще ползи, ползи.
Rustem's work inspires respect. The way he seriously takes his role, his part, and his work. That is, this is an absolute transformation into the role he plays. This is a conscious and correct approach to working with a partner. The main thing is to perceive the partner. It is important to feel the duet. The male partner's task is to present her more beautifully in a dance. As a stage partner, he will always support. Very professional. It was exciting to get the feel of some parts with him, because it's very important when a partner carries his story, participates in this process, lives the story. When 2 people share the same story, this is, so to speak, a film on stage.
I've danced a very wide repertoire, and even those performances that I never dreamt of, such as Manon. These performances have never been staged here in Kazakhstan before. The shows were only in Europe, in the world's best theaters. But with the arrival of the ballet company artistic director, the unequaled Altanaya Solmuratova, they are now being performed in our theater. So, we and the leading soloists now have the opportunity to present such masterpieces of the world ballet.
Today we are having the 4th performance of the Bakhchisarai Fountain Ballet. The first bell has rung. Get ready for the performance. I wish you all good luck and a storm of applause.
I transitioned to being a repetiteur. Right after my apprenticeship at La Scala, I started giving masterclasses and lessons to our dancers, and then, little by little, began to lead rehearsals.
Now he is more like an instructor, and I'm incredibly grateful to him for his support and help. because I was very young and inexperienced when I came, and I did not understand anything. He told me and showed me lots of things.
Being a repetitor and going on stage yourself is of course difficult. It is a double responsibility. Because as a repetitor, I demand flawless performance from dancers, and when I go on stage myself, I must perform everything, every element impeccably.
When I arrived here in 2015, he already was a repetitor. I found it strange. He was so young, could still dance. But then it turned out he was a repetitor. All right then. I wasn't the only one who noted him. That he can reveal himself on stage very brightly, but also the stage directors who visited us. The first time when representatives of the Roland Petit Foundation came and we did the Notre Dame de Paris ballet, Luigi Bonino, who arranged this ballet, said that Rustem could perfectly appear as Quasimodo. So he again, as a ballet artist, was taken and straight for the leading part. The same thing happened when Raimondo Rebeck arrived. He staged a new ballet, How Long Is Now, for us, and again Rustem was invited as an artist. That is, each time when they meet him as a repetitor, and then they say, Rustem himself can do everything perfectly. He manages literally everything. It turns out a big load, both the family and the theater and students at the academy. He's always positive, you know? He's always in a good mood. He is always charged for work. He's always energized. Where does he get so much strength and energy?
In my free time, I love going fishing. Lure fishing, bottom fishing, and fishing with rods, you name it. My father had introduced me to it. From my early childhood, when staying at our summer house, we would often go fishing. The pond was quite close by, and little by little my father hooked me onto it. And I gave in to the lure. I love my children very much. I just cannot live without them. I come home, see my daughters, and all the fatigue disappears.
Rustem, in fact, is not only an excellent repetitor, not only an excellent ballet artist, dancer, he is also a wonderful friend and a very loving and caring husband and father.
My wife is a soloist, and many our dancers find their better halves in the ballet company.
It is very difficult to find a couple, for example, a non-ballet man who can understand the specifics of our work. Therefore, ballet couples get formed quite often. This is very common. It took Rustem a very long time to win Asel's heart, singing to the guitar, something dedicated to Asel, so romantic. Rustem, it's all about him, a knight, so to speak. I'm glad he'd finally achieved this, because the family is amazing. Wonderful children and wife. Rustem is a very attentive spouse and dad.
Sweetie, you have the admission exams in July. You need to prepare well to them to get admitted to the academy. What do you think?
Yes, I was preparing yesterday.
Well done. Now my second daughter is studying at the choreography academy. She saw all of it, my and my wife's performances, and she told us, I want to do ballet. I said, sweetie, do you understand how hard it is? We've gone through it and we know it very well. She persuaded us and I had to take her to the admission exams. I said, okay, you'll pass it by yourself without my intervention. So I brought her in and walked away quietly. I was waiting to see how things would go. She passed the exam, got admitted, and now it's been her third year at the academy. I am happy for my ballet career. It inspires me, and I want to continue working, progressing, and creating.